Hey. Hey, y'all. Hey, I'm trying to get Ryan in here. Hold on one second. Hey, Ryan. Let's see. Okay, wait. All right. Let's see. Ryan, you in? Let me see. Yes. What's the legal sauce of the day? Yes. We're gonna be talking about trademarks and marketing. Protecting your marketing spend with trademarks. Let's see. I don't know why. Hold on. You still can't join. Okay, Ryan is having a hard time joining us. This is crazy. Let's see. Let me try. Go live again with Ryan. Okay. That's what I'm doing, Ryan. I'm trying to add you now. So Ryan was having some problems with his live before today. So he's still having some problems now. It's not letting me add him to our live. Let's see. Let's see. Am I an associate or a partner in a firm? I'm an owner of a law firm, the boss's lawyer. That is, yes. Let's see. Okay, let's try to. Okay, accept. Right. Okay, and it's telling me you're unable to join. That's crazy. Ah,
Oh,
here we go.
Instagram, do not try to
Yeah.
let me rate. Like, what's going on?
Hi. Yes. Tripping. Okay, I'm glad we got that together.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing very well. Thank you so much for asking. Definitely excited for this conversation. I was about to be really, really mad if we didn't get this situation.
Yes, definitely. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. All right, so I see some people joining. All right, great. This is Buddy Scholar, my man Roosevelt. What's going on? Do me a favor, y'all. Please share this out. Anybody on here dropping this someone's DM, just share it. Drop some comments. We got an amazing person on here tonight. Definitely want to answer any trademark questions and legal questions, entrepreneur questions, stuff like that. But before we get started, definitely, of course, just introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Hold on. You tapped out a little bit, Ryan. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right, good.
Absolutely. Yeah, so hey everybody, my name is Ryenne Shaw and I am the principal attorney and owner of The Boss's Lawyer. And what we do at The Boss's Lawyer is we help small business owners build businesses that operate as assets instead of liabilities, increase in value over time and build wealth. Okay, so what we're all about is building wealth. So, from my perspective, it's sort of a large approach. It's not just one thing we need. Like trademarks is really, really important, but there's all sorts of things that we need in order to be able to essentially position our businesses to be able to build wealth, right? Because we definitely want to make money, and that's the first start, right? That's where we start off in businesses. We want to make money. Once we make money, we know that we have a viable idea, at least in the very least, right? And so what we want to be able to do at that point is ensure that we can build wealth from that idea, and from the monetization of that. And in order to be able to do that, we ultimately need to be able to protect our rights. right? And be able to create predictability in our business as well, okay? So that requires us to have a solid legal foundation in place.
All right, great. So, for those that don't know me, my name is Ryan McCrary, also known as the Funnel Doctor, and I run a digital marketing agency. We specialize in helping creative entrepreneurs grow and scale online with funnels, paid traffic, ads, Instagram ads, email marketing, and so forth. And we just love working with entrepreneurs to, help get your message out to the world because there's too many people that they're the best kept secret. You have product or service, but you have trouble getting out to the marketplace or scaling it, or you just need more eyes on your offer, and you need the right sales system when people actually come. So I definitely, reach out to you to have this conversation because it's just so important for the legalities in business, trademarks, and so forth. So of course we'll talk about that, but I'm definitely just more curious on like your actual background. Did you always want to be an attorney? Is it something that you fell into and stuff like that? I'm curious on that.
Yeah, you know what? I always did want to be an attorney. I think in the beginning it was between doctor and attorney. And, ultimately, I think that being an attorney was cheaper and it was quicker. And, when they started telling me that I had a residency after this and a residency after that, I was like, okay, listen, we gotta do something a little bit more efficient. So that's I think that was what led me to be an attorney at the end of the day. But like really, on a more serious note, I wanted to be able to impact our community, specifically the black community. And I felt like being an attorney would allow me to have the information and access to the information and the resources that we generally don't have access to. And so I felt like, sort of being able to be a part of that world would allow me to create a bigger impact for us.
Absolutely makes sense. Shout out to the email marketing, John, Alyssa in here, some other folks on here. So like I said, do me a favor, y'all. If you haven't already, please share this out. Get some more people in here, tag your friends, because this is an important conversation. Y'all know I always talk about sales and marketing, funnels and that type of stuff. But this stuff is even more important than that type of stuff. Trademarks and securing your brand and that type of stuff. And of course, building wealth is extremely more important. So I definitely love that. I think we need more black attorneys out here, that look like us, representing, and not just those in corporate, but those actually doing it for themselves and entrepreneurs and stuff like that. So
Absolutely.
that was going to be my next question, because of course I know your bio because we help build your funnel as well, and we'll definitely tell people how you can get access to her course or her program and stuff like that. But what made you want to, I guess, transition out of corporate, and stuff like that?
You know what? So I guess the idea for the boss's lawyer initially was born because I was working at another firm and I was working for a partner, a larger firm. And I had pitched an idea because I was getting to a place where I was able to bring in my own business. And so we were competing for a lot of the same corporations that other larger firms and firms that were bigger than us were competing for. And it got to a point for me where I'm just kind of like, well, with a lot of these firms, they are endeared, right? They have a relationship with with these companies because they built them pretty much, right? They've been servicing these companies since they were in somebody's, garage. And I'm talking about like the AT&Ts and all this kind of stuff. Like they started out with the same law firms a lot of times that are servicing them today for a lot of their work. And I pitched the idea and I said, let's go after some of these smaller businesses, particularly in our community. This was a black partner. And, I'm like, I think that we can really make a great impact. And I think we can, ultimately create our own market, right? Because we'll be helping them to be successful, helping them to make money, and helping them to become like these corporations that we are, scrapping for.
Mm-hmm.
And he shut me down.
Mm.
He shut me down because he told me that small business owners didn't have any money. And we needed to get paid, at the end of the day. And so I think that at that time, that's when I was like, okay, I found that away. And some years later, I kept working for, even larger law firms that worked for large corporations. And at some point, I think I had my son. And, I just was over it. I just was over kind of working for other people and just feeling like, I was a new mom and my baby might get sick and then I might get sick and I'm like, oh my God, we're getting sick too frequently. I have to schedule my sicknesses better. Like it was weird. You know what I mean? So I just felt like it's time to make some decisions. So I became pretty much my own ideal client, I guess, really, you know?
I love that. Shout out to you for leaving corporate saying F them, I'm gonna go do my own thing. And yeah, that's important. You know, like you said, if you get sick or your son gets sick, having to ask someone to take vacation, like all that type of stuff. Like I'm
Yeah, like I gotta ask you, can I get sick? I gotta
right,
ask you, can I have a break? I'm like, it's giving slavery. It's
right.
giving, I mean, and the thing is, it was a great job. All jokes aside, I had a great position. It was a great firm and treated me great. But I knew that I wasn't going to be, and I was making great money. But I wasn't creating something that I could pass down. I wasn't creating something I could sell. I wasn't creating something I could leverage in any way. You know what I mean? And I just realized, like, no matter how much money I make here, it's never going to be enough because I got to be here. You know what I mean? Like, I literally have to be here for everything. So, yeah.
Definitely. If someone said I like your mindset, I definitely do too. And no shade to no one that has a job and a 9 to 5. Like there's nothing wrong with
No,
I think
no,
the most important thing is making sure that you are happy in your life and your career. So if
right.
that 9 to 5 or like whatever you do, like absolutely.
Yeah,
For even me personally, like I hated my 9 to 5. Like I ain't like it. That shit was stressful. I
yeah,
didn't want to hear. I didn't want to deal with corporate America. I didn't
yeah.
want to get better. I didn't want to deal with racism and all that type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I ventured out and took a leap of faith. And it was rough in the beginning, but it definitely, definitely fell flat on my feet. Been able to literally triple, quadruple what I used to make in corporate, working for myself. But it
Yeah,
definitely, took the leap of faith. So definitely shout out to you.
yeah.
Uh, Someone says, "Oh, I love those earrings. I love those earrings."
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, so that's great. So now, definitely want to talk about, of course, trademarks a little bit, and that type of stuff. So for those, of course, that don't know what that is, so like, what is a trademark? Maybe like the legal definition. Why should someone have one? And I know there's probably like a lot of misconceptions out there, like, oh, if I have a LLC in this name, like I own the name or stuff like that. You probably hear that type of stuff all the time. So if you could just break that down as an
Yeah.
attorney, all that type.
Sure, absolutely. Okay, so when it comes to trademarks, I like to speak of them from a more practical perspective. Why do you, as a small business owner, a wealth builder, why do you care about trademarks? Why do you need them? Well, essentially, at the end of the day, everything we all have a way that we want to be identified. Right? Most of us want to be identified by our names. We might have a nickname or a slogan. And in businesses, it's the same way, right? There's a way that we have to identify our brands, our products, our services, or whatever it is that we are essentially trying to get support for, right? Trying to bring to market. We have a way that we want to have people identify them. Okay, that can even be audible, right? That could be a sound. That can even be a smell, right? Believe it or not, you can trademark a smell. But what a trademark is, yes, there are smells that are trademarked. But you walk into a store and a signature smell like that you may never smell anywhere else outside of that store. That smell may very well be trademarked, right? Because what it is the way, our goal when we build a business, a brand, is to create a relationship. Okay. And what we call that relationship is really customer goodwill. Okay, and it's an actual line item. Like if you were to sell your business, it's going to be something that's going to be part of the valuation, right? And what it means is pretty much how well you have created a relationship with your ideal customer, your clients, that you can monetize, that you can make money off of, right? And so, for example, Target versus the dollar store, they're not selling vastly different products, right? We can go to either of those stores and get like pretty much, toilet tissue, furniture. I mean, you can get all kind of sorts of different things from either of those stores, and we probably are going to pay less in the dollar store, right? But the reality of it is, most of us are not going to go to the dollar store. Most of us are going to want to go to Target because of the relationship that Target has created with us.
Mm.
Right? We have an expectation for a certain experience when we go in Target. And so that causes us to consciously decide that we're going to go in there and spend more for the same items because we want to pay for the experience. So when you're building a brand, and I tell this to my clients all the time, when you're building a brand, you're not just selling a product or a service, you're selling an experience, right? You're selling not just what you do, but how you do it, how you deliver it, right? How you make, a person feel as they are interacting with, your brand. And trademark is the way that you take ownership of all of that, right? As a business owner, we know we invest a lot in just making sure we have a great relationship, starting with a great product or service, a great method of delivery, the nurturing and just the support and just making sure that your brand has a name you can stand on, right? And so when you do that, that positions you to be able to expand. That positions you to be able to start really trying to get more eyes, right? More people, right? So that's the marketing, that's the advertising side. That's when you start really, really kicking up that particular part of the investment. Now, keep in mind, you've already invested in perfecting the products and the service and the delivery, the whole process, that whole thing, right? So now, once you've done that and you've seen that you've done that because you are establishing good customer goodwill, right? And you'll see that because you'll start getting referrals, right? People are talking about you. People are talking about your brands. And so you need to make sure when you're being talked about, right? And we're just breaking it down to the most practical, the simplest, way. When you're being talked about, when your brand is being talked about, we need to make sure it can be found by the people that need to be finding it. And that's what trademarking is making sure that the ways that you decide to identify your brand, that you own them, right? So that you can leverage them in different ways. Just like, for example, like Amazon. Like I tell my clients all the time, one brand can house countless businesses. There's a difference between a brand and a business. If you have a strong brand, strong customer relationships, customer goodwill, right, reputation, all that kind of stuff, brand recognition, then now you can spin off. You can make more and more money, right? Now you're controlling your ability to create more and more money, and that's wealth. See, people get wealth and generating money confused. We can all come up with a way to make some money. This is not about making money, right? When it comes to building wealth with your business, you need to be controlling and ensuring you have the ability to make more money, right? And the only way you can do that is by owning, not just trademarks, but your intellectual property, period, right? But, just speaking specifically on your trademarks, you have to be able to own the way you present your brand to market, for example. And there's so many different ways you can leverage after you have secured, right? After you have secured this ownership. And unfortunately, under our law, you don't automatically own a lot of things, right? Like you don't own ideas. You can't own an idea under American law, right? You can only own the manifestation of that idea. Okay, and so now that is where we have to figure out, okay, like, that's when we figure out, okay, trademarks, copyrights, patents, all that kind of stuff. But the bottom line is the only way you can really leverage those assets, right? And be able to make money this way, make money that way, make money this way, which is wealth, right? Wealth is not making money. Wealth is the ability to make money. Wealth is how much money would you have if you lost all your money. You know what I mean? Realistically. And so in order to do that, you have to take ownership of everything that you're creating. And the way you identify is obvious, right? When going back to our example about like Target, Dollar Store, Target has built such a strong relationship with us, such strong customer goodwill, such strong expectations that they can pop that red dot on the top of the expressway. I'm trying to pull over.
Right.
It's time. It's time. I need to spend some money. I'm gonna have a good experience. I'm about to find something that I didn't know I needed. You see what I'm saying? So this is because Target knows their market. They know the type of people they're talking to, right? And so it's in their best interest to take ownership of how those people are triggered. Because that's all everything is. Everything is emotional, right? Every decision we're making, even in business, is an emotional decision, right? And so we're triggering by these signs, logo, right, or little jingle that we put in the commercial, or little whatever it is we come up with, right? It signals, okay, this is someone I can trust. This is an experience that I'm familiar with, or I have a certain positive, expectation. This is worth money, right? This is an asset. This is something that you can continue to monetize over and over again. This is why Amazon can hit us with whatever they want to hit us with. They can Amazon delivery. What is it? Amazon clothes. Amazon groceries, whatever it is. We're all about it because we know how Amazon is coming, right? We know how Amazon is coming, and so we can trust them with our money, right? And so if we started to think that, I don't know, Kmart is gone, but Kmart was Amazon, Amazon now has a problem, right? If Kmart was able to run out here and be like, we're Amazon, look at us, come over here, we got a problem, right? Now it's a lot of money that Amazon's going to be losing, and it's a lot of money that Amazon can't make. And then on top of that, because of the fact that Amazon is really capitalizing on that relationship, once that relationship is damaged, then what? Right? So once that expectation is not met, then what?
Right.
How does that affect the value of the brand?
Right.
Your ability to, again, make more money, right? And so trademarks relate to all of that.
I love that. If y'all getting value out of this conversation, do me a favor, drop a comment down, drop an emoji, put a gem or something like that. I got my pen too. So she does charge, she is an attorney, so she charges by the hour. So if you can get some nuggets right now, make sure you take advantage of it, because after this live, it will not be free. So what mistakes do you see a lot of entrepreneurs and stuff make when it comes to trademarks? Is it like waiting too long? Is it trying to trademark the wrong thing? What mistakes you see?
Yes, I would say the biggest mistake is probably not having a trademark strategy. Because all trademarks are not created equal, unfortunately. So a lot of people are like, you need trademarks, you need trademarks, you need trademarks. And you do, but you need the right trademarks. You need to understand really what they are, why you need them, and how you can use them in order to create the strategy, to even create the trademarks that you even need to be owning, right? Because it's about being able to monetize them. It's about being able to get value out of them. It's not just about being able to say you own them. It's great to say you own them, and there are some benefits that just come automatically with just saying you own them, for sure. But when it comes to getting all of the benefits, that I think a lot of the benefits that people don't really talk about, which is that they actually do make you money. Like if you go, like for example, look at Balenciaga and Gucci. That collaboration has made a lot of money. That's not possible without trademarks. That's nothing but leveraging of trademarks. That's nothing but saying, like, let me tap into your people, right? You tap into my people. Let's come up with something, and let's charge like way more for it because they can't get something like this, right? For example, I was in Target not too long ago, and I saw some Lego. Like Lego has a new collection in Target that's like home stuff, like throw pillows, blankets, rugs. They got like pet coats and all kind of things like that. All kind of things that's outside of the Lego lane, right? And all of these things are possible because of trademarks. You know what I mean? So it's like it's all kind of different ways you can leverage them and monetize them, but it starts with having the appropriate strategy, right? Knowing how to create a strong trademark, right? Trademarking the right stuff. I think that's probably the biggest mistake I feel like people are making, is that they're just running out and trademarking stuff. But like, okay, now what?
Man, that makes a lot of sense. All right, someone says, love this. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And you don't really hear a lot of, even attorneys, honestly, like talk about a trademark strategy. It may just be like, oh, get your trademark, make sure you get your trademark, like you got your logo or you get your website and make sure your brand's protected. But you don't really hear too many people talk about an actual strategy. So I definitely love that. So what's your thoughts on just people saying, all right, well, I'm just going to LegalZoom and get it done. I'm going to go to Rocket Lawyer. I'm going to go to, like, there's a lot of attorney companies that'll be like, all right, we'll file your trademark for like $100 or something like that. Um,
Yes.
so what's your thoughts on that, and like what are the potential dangers of that?
Well, I mean, realistically, it's nothing but paper, right? It's nothing but paper. The paper part, though, however, is the easy part. Like
Mm-hmm.
once you get to the application part, that's the easy part. And people really don't understand this about attorneys. And just generally speaking, I think this is a huge misconception. By the time the paper is involved, be it a contract or even going to court, because I litigated for years, but by the time the paper or the actual action that you see as a client or whatever, by the time that happens, the work is done. The work is done up here, right? The work is done up there. The work is done in the research and trying to figure out, how certain situations play out for you specifically, the contingencies, because that's what really, being an attorney, especially for small businesses, is about protecting, right? Because small businesses can't afford to lose. So we got to be a lot more proactive. We got to be a lot more strategic in how we're going about things because we can't afford to be sitting ducks. You know
Right.
what I mean? And so I think that those are some of the things that entrepreneurs really need to kind of keep in mind is that by the time the paperwork is done, the work is done. So it's not hard to fill in the paper, but what you gonna put on the paper?
Right, right,
Right?
right.
If you don't know what to put on the paper, you don't know what to trademark. Again, if you don't know how to even come up with a trademark strategy, there's a good chance that even if you do get it filled out right, it's incomplete. You may not have all the right, things in there, which means you have inadequate protection. If you have inadequate trademark protection, you've really just wasted your time, right? You really, it means nothing, right? If you haven't protected it fully, it's not a half kind of thing, right? So if you are protecting your mark, you're gonna have to protect it. If you're gonna own it, you're gonna have to own it, right? You can't half own it. And so you have to make sure that when you're doing it and protecting the right things. And so if you don't know that, I don't know what the application will really be doing for
I don't know what you doing out here if you ain't doing that.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely agree with that. So before we even go further, like definitely, I know you do have a course on all this that y'all can get access to. The price of this course for all the value and everything like that. Like I know you get tons of value for the price of it. So just let people know how they can get access to that and what's the link and stuff like that. And if someone drops down, you type it, you can probably pin it on there.
Absolutely. So you can go to trademarkingboss.com. And you'll be able to get some information about what's included in the course. But essentially, the course will walk you step by step through number one, creating a trademark strategy. So, fully understanding what a trademark is, how you're going to be using it, right? Because those are the things that you kind of really need to understand in order to be able to create your strategy. And once you've done that, now you know what you need to be trademarking, first of all, right? You understand what you need to be trademarking, and then it will walk you through the process of actually completing that trademark application and give you some information and some guidance for what to do after your application has been submitted, things you can do to make sure you're submitting the strongest application possible, and just increase the likelihood of success because, trademarking, the process is extensive, it's long, and it can be very expensive. So you just want to make sure that you're starting off with the knowledge you need to actually be effective with what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. All right, yeah, so it's trademarkingboss.com.
Yeah,
Trademarkingboss.com. Make sure y'all tap in and just take advantage of it. But if people do want, like, hey, I kind of do it for me, of course, you offer that as well, right?
absolutely. Absolutely. I will take care of it from start to finish.
Okay, good. So yeah, you answered like a lot of my questions. If anybody else has any questions, definitely drop them down. You get in an attorney right now for not paying her hourly fee. So you definitely want to get all, any trademark questions and stuff, answered and stuff like that. I love everything you've been sharing. It's extremely important to, like you said, have a trademark strategy, protect your brand, and just understand that and just get with an expert. I'm the type like I want to try to figure like a whole bunch of stuff out if I don't have to. I have no problem paying an expert, getting a course, getting a training, learning, not just learning from people that don't know what they're talking about or somebody on the internet that, doesn't
Absolutely.
all that stuff.
Absolutely. And then even as, as small business owners, I think it's important for us to, even when we're hiring people, you need to understand what's going on. I have made the mistake before of hiring people prematurely, right? When I didn't know enough about the process or what it is that I was, trying to get done to select the right person to equip me to be successful. Does that make sense? So
Yeah,
it's like, if I'm gonna hire somebody or if I'm gonna do something, I need to have the information. So even when you hire somebody, I recommend equipping yourself with, some information. I mean, take a course on it. Even if you hire somebody, I'm gonna take me a course because I need to know what we even talking about most of the time. You know what I mean? That's me
definitely.
personally.
So I
Let's
think
see,
so.
how long
That's
does
the
it take?
question.
How much
Uh,
is your trademark service? How long does it take to receive your trademark? So trademarking right now, the process is probably about a year, and that's if everything goes pretty smoothly. I would say. Um, it's been taking longer, I think, a little bit since the pandemic. So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, I filed a trademark, and this was before I even knew you. I just went through you. I filed my trademark for the year.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I think we just heard back with like some stuff that we had to reply about,
Yeah.
but I like don't. It still ain't done, and it's been like over
Exactly.
right
Exactly.
now.
Yeah. So I think they working from home too. At least
Right.
they were.
I think someone said they left a question in the icon. You can check your Q&A. And I know someone else had a question.
I trademark a sauce and a drink. Okay, how do I trademark my brand name? Um, okay, so how do you trademark your brand name and can you trademark a sauce and a drink mixed drink? You can definitely trademark the name of your products. You can definitely trademark the name of your specific products. If you have a drink that you're coming out with, I definitely recommend that you would want to trademark that. But you want to make sure that it's something that's trademarkable, right? Because everything isn't trademarkable. There are some things that are, you're not going to be able to be successful in trademarking. It might be because somebody else owns that trademark or a trademark that's too similar. Things to keep in mind. Now, as far as how to trademark your brands.
Buy the
You
course. But go ahead.
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Go ahead.
Um,
Go ahead. I'm not, but go
how
ahead.
how do I trademark my brand name? You can figure out how to trademark your brand name in the course. So that's what the course is for. The course will literally walk you through how to file a trademark application. But pretty much it's going to be the same process, regardless of what you are filing, whether it's your brand name or your product name. You're going to go through the same process to complete the application.
All right. Plates by Kim said, okay, so I definitely need a one-on-one consultation.
Definitely can book. You can definitely book at bosseslawyer.com on the website. You can just click book a call and we can talk about it.
Any other questions that we so far?
I miss what should a business be trademarking? Oh, that's a good question. And so that's going to depend on your business and your business model. And so there's no like one size fits all for what you should be trademarking, but things like your name, um, obviously, right? Because keep in mind, again, this is how you are going to be identified, right? This is how you want people to identify your business, your brand, your products, your services, whatever. This is what you want to cause them an emotional trigger, if you will, that they should come and support and spend money or whatever. So this could be your logo. This could be the name of your course or your program. If you have a signature service, right, like a membership, you have a certain membership with certain things in it, you might want to trademark the name of that membership program. Those kind of things are things you can trademark. And there's lots of things you can trademark. And I actually have a training too that gives a little bit more detail about trademarking and just kind of like, you know, what you can trademark and all those specifics as well. And that's at growwithtrademarks.com. So if you guys want to take a training and just kind of learn a little bit more about trademarks and how you can grow your brand with trademarks, how they work, some of those details, that training will also help as well. Growwithtrademarks.com.
Yep, and that's a free training, and she gives tons of value. I've watched it; it is very, very helpful. So if you want to take advantage of that, yes, it was growwithtrademarks.com.
Growwithtrademarks.com. Yeah.
Okay. Kelsey said, "Can you trademark like a brand mascot?"
A brand mascot. Yeah, I mean, essentially, yeah, I mean, mascots are trademarked for sure.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Trademark your mascot. If you want to have a mascot, then yeah, you can
yeah.
trademark.
Just think biggest brands in the world that have mascots. I'm pretty sure they're trade like you can
Yeah,
get.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I was told I couldn't trademark a descriptive word.
So some things are not going to be trademarkable, and that's why it's important to learn a little bit about trademarks before you file your application, because those are things that if you don't know that, you will run into problems with the USPTO.
Mm,
If you're using like words that are too general, like too generic, right? Something that basically, if you took ownership of this word, basically other people couldn't use it, right? If does that make sense?
mm,
It can't be something like that. It has to be distinctive. It has to be something, you know, that you actually. I don't know. I think it's a scale, right? There's no hard and fast rule about what you can and cannot trademark, but there are strong trademarks and then there are weak trademarks. Right?
mm,
There are things that are more likely to be trademarked and things that are less likely to be trademarked. So
mm,
always it always depends, but you want to utilize the strategies that you know make for a stronger trademark, right? That's what's going to increase your chances of being successful, and that's what's going to increase your ability to monetize the trademark, right? The stronger the trademark is, not only is it going to be easier for you to be successful in the application process, but it's also going to be easier for you to monetize that trademark, right? And make money off that trademark and create different opportunities and avenues to make money off of that trademark. So it's in your best interest to really learn about trademarks so that you can create a strong trademark so you can really do all the things that need to be done with the trademark.
Makes sense. Someone say grow with trade. I just checked the link. It's just one W though. So like grow with
Yeah, it's
trademark.
just one W.
Just
Yeah,
one W.
GROWITH.
Yeah,
Trade.
take advantage of that. I don't know how long that's gonna be free, but that definitely is a lot of value. So take advantage of that before we pull that down because that ain't gonna be free long. I ran into that problem. I had to drop my trademark application because of the word.
Exactly, exactly. And so that's what I mean when I talk about like trademark strategy. All of that is part of your trademark strategy. It's more than just filling out this application, right? It's making sure that you have a strong trademark. First of all, you want to make sure you have something that's even trademarkable, right? You want to make sure it's trademarkable, okay? And so something like that would be something that would make it not trademarkable, right? Too descriptive, too generic, something like that. That's going to be something that's going to take away from the ability to trademark it, and it's going to cost you money because by the time if you wait for the USPTO to tell you that, they're not refunding you. You
Mm,
just wasted the application money and you wasted however many months it took for them to start processing, just to tell you we can't do nothing with this.
That makes sense. And I think that's important to, think outside the box. Don't just try to trademark something that, is, like you said, generic and stuff like that. And that
Absolutely.
relates to,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Like, for example, the strongest trademarks are going to be words that you pretty much maybe have made up, words that completely don't relate to whatever it is that it is you're selling, right? Especially that don't obviously relate. Like, for example, when I speak of like words you made up, like Netflix,
right.
right? That's a strong trademark because they made it up. But there are a lot of different other things to keep in mind when you're creating it, because on one hand you want to be very distinctive, but the flip side of it is you also want to be calling out, and this is more of a, I guess, a business strategy, that you should keep in mind. You also want to be calling out your ideal customer, if you
Mm,
can,
mm,
right? So you can put something in there that sort of signals, right, that they need to care about whatever it is this brand is offering. I think that that helps a lot too with being able to once again monetize that trademark later.
mm.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, so it says my trademark was just accepted by the USPTO. Congratulations. That's great. Uh, yeah, that is amazing. Anybody have any other questions? Like, I love this conversation. Thank you so much for just having the conversation. I know your time is very, very valuable, so I really appreciate that. Yeah, if anybody has any other questions, I think you answered like all my questions. Definitely just want you to talk about trademark, importance of it. How people can protect their brands, how people can leverage that for wealth. It's not just about getting a trademark just to get a trademark, but definitely how to leverage that, how to build wealth, so we can you can just have ownership and really utilize that to like build your business more and just grow and scale and build wealth, all that.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. Thank you guys for having me. Thank you so much, Ryan. This has been so fun.
Yeah, me too. We definitely got. Make sure you save this live. So I'm gonna repost it on my page. I'm also gonna send it to my list. So if anybody watched it on replay, let us know that you watched it. If you have any other questions, definitely let us know. She has a 100% free masterclass. It's Grow with Trademarks. Just one W. GrowWithTrademarks.com. If you want to just jump into the course, it's trademarkingboss.com, right?
Trademarkingboss.com. Yes.
Yep. And she is available for one-on-one services. If you want to just get done for you and get the trademark done,
Yeah.
definitely can take advantage of that as well.
Yes.
Uh,
And with the services, what we do is, because, like I said, I've noticed that a lot of people just really don't know where to start with trademarks. So they start off with a trademark that isn't, as strong as can be. And so with the services, the first thing that we do with the services was we start off with a little bit of training with that as well. Okay. So either way it goes, whether you take the course or whether you come to the firm and hire us for that, you're going to start off with learning about trademark strategy. Okay. Because I need you to know what you're trademarking, why you're trademarking. I need you to be able to make the right decisions so that we're protecting the right things. Okay.
Absolutely. Y'all like this live. Please put a comment down. Place by Kim said lots of value. Drop some emojis or something like that. We definitely got to do this again. It's so helpful and so needed. Like I said, I don't see enough attorneys, in our community or in entrepreneurship in general talking about this type of stuff. Definitely not talking about a trademark strategy and, all that type of stuff. So definitely appreciate that.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So, any last questions, or definitely any last words, or how, besides your program and stuff like that, how people can find you if they want to connect with you and all that type of stuff?
You know what? Follow us at Boss's Lawyer on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook, The Boss's Lawyer. I don't know how to make TikToks, but when I figure out how to make the TikToks, you can follow us on TikTok too.
But we got some ads running, so we're going to retarget you. So if you go to her page or you go to her website or whatever, and you click on something or you hit the pixel, we definitely going to retarget you. So make sure that you tab it. You don't, get on now. You don't buy now. You want to do it later. It's all right. She's going to keep showing up in your feed. That's why, that's what she helps. That's
Yeah.
what the doctor helps with, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Gonna keep showing up in your feed as well if you want to fence or whatever. But I 100% recommend that you hire her. Get your trademark done. There's too many people out here doing business with no trademark, no brand protection, not protecting your IP. But you on Instagram, you're doing websites, you're doing logos, all that type of stuff. But you don't have your stuff secured, you don't have your stuff protected, and you don't own your stuff. You just out here doing stuff.
You just about to miss out on some money. You just
Right.
about to be missing out on some money.
Absolutely. So how many of y'all is that? Where y'all out here, pumping your brand, everything like that, but you ain't got no paperwork behind it. You don't own it and stuff like that. If that's you, that's okay. After you saw this conversation, that won't be you because you'll go in and get her program or just hire her directly.
Either or.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, like I said, thank you so much for this conversation. I really appreciate it. I know me and you have more work to do as well, so we'll talk more about that offline. But I really appreciate you and your time. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you too, Ryan. I'll talk to y'all later.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.